Alright, we're here on the water. I've got my friend Chris Hickson with me, Daiwa Pro Angler, and we've got, it's a pretty cool day today because we've actually got the first samples of what's going to become the next range of Infeet rods. So I've got the standard model, which will be called Infeet S. Chris is holding the new Z series, and we're here on beautiful Lake Tyres. We're going to have a fish around today and see if we can't catch a few nice Black Bream and test out a couple of new rods.
Yeah, can you give them a run? It's fairly similar models to what we're used to, but some new cosmetics and some new blank tech, and yeah, put them to the test.
So upgraded a few of the models, put as much technology as we can really into these. It's one of our flagship ranges, the Infeets. We really like doing them, and yeah, so upgraded a few things. And we're here to just to finesse, you know, a couple of the designs, handle lengths, all that kind of thing. So not quite the final designs on either of these ones, but close enough that we can give you a bit of a sneak peek at them and hopefully bring you along for a ride of catching a few fish.
Twitched it on, you went dunk. Oh, it bit me off.
So we're just electric along this weed edge, and I'm noticing there's a few what we call digs. So what happens is the brim get down and filter through the silt and stir up all the shells. So you get like a light patch in the sand, generally with a heap of, you know, broken shell and stuff in it. And we're just noticing a heap of little digs around here. So we're about to move, but we probably stick it out here for a little bit longer.
They're not always easy to catch when they're like that, but it can be very frustrating.
There's heaps just there.
Mm.
Oh, these are not bad.
So this is kind of why I like this rod. For using things with trebles, it's like long and soft, and when they're biting funny, those tiny little trebles, heaps more chance of staying in. Nice. Front hook too, so we wanted it.
Oh, I just had one for that one.
Ooh, you got a slimy head. That's a very well-behaved fish. He did bugger all. So personally, I really like using straight through fluorocarbon when I'm fishing, especially open water with lures with trebles, so crankbaits, smaller twitch baits and stuff like that. You do sacrifice a little bit of casting distance sometimes, but if it's light enough line, it's not too much of an issue. And when you've got that real finicky bite and the really small trebles on the small lures, even if the fish is just pinned in the lips, there's enough stretch in the line with a nice soft rod like this Infeet 7.4 that it's not going to pull the hooks out too quick. It's got that stretch to just a little bit more give than you normally would have. And yeah, it's perfect for when they're just tiny little trebles, finicky fish, and also they can't see the line either. When you've got a really bright day, quite often the braid will throw a shadow over the waterway on these flats. You don't get that when you throw on the straight through fluorocarbon. So just the little 1%ers that seem to make a difference sometimes.
He's shaking his head.
Get away! Oh. Get away from the electric. There we go. We got him. But yeah, bit fatter than the other one. Oop. Another one, the double clutch 48, chrome belly. I just saw a patch of little bait fish go past earlier. They have this little, seen quite often in these southern estuaries, real small but really super shiny. That chrome belly mimics it really well. As soon as I put that thing on, I've got two fish pretty quick. So the old match the hatch, gave you the wave. Actually, I might throw that. Ooh, is that a boil in there near right through?
Something.
Yep.
Is that where you threw?
Yep, it was him. Might be a flatty, that one actually. Doesn't feel like a bream.
Uh-oh.
Local legend on the flatties. Oh, no, it's a bream.
Yeah, it went into the rod tip.
Why is it not? It's like not doing anything. Yeah, it's shaking its head.
Oh, double clutch.
Good old double clutch. Look at his tail from being up on the sand. Tommy's on the board. What you got?
Bream.
Nice. Hit the money spot.
Yeah, it's a good bit of wind blowing on this flat.
Hit the money spot. Just a bream.
Just a bream. Little jerkbait.
Nice.
And I've had one hook up and one fish.
Decent one.
The Sazza. It's on the Infeet S. Little 6'10" one. Good little jerkbait rod. Bit shorter length so you can twitch it down. You're not always in the water. Nice little black bream.
That rod's nice for that new 7.1.
Yeah.
7.3, sorry. Ultralight. Cast them like a demon. Given we got a bit of wind.
Right up on the shallows again?
Yeah, he was right up on the weed edge, that one. He had a couple of goes at that too. Yeah. Long and thin. Real tail's beaten up from being up on the shallow stuff, eh? He got that good. Loves it. So I'm just throwing the little 2.95, like a little flick minnow. And I picked up the 732 ULFS in the Infeet Z range. It's long enough to get a really long cast over these flats. Soft enough that you can work the bait nicely. There's a bit of give in it when they actually do take it, but also enough for an ultralight rod. There's enough to set that single hook on a jig head as well. It's always a fine line between having a nice soft rod to cast a long way with these light baits, but also enough hook setting power with the single hook, which is a bit different to when you're throwing the cranks like I was in the 7.4. This is actually the first go I've had at it, and it feels pretty well spot on. I think in the tournaments for the rest of the week, this is going to be a pretty standard setup for me. Oh, whack. That's a cranky one. What is this?
Bream?
I don't know. I ate it like a bream. I don't think it is. I think it's a lizard. Yeah, it is. It's a flathead. Yeah. Oh, damn. Thought that happened.
I knew that was going to happen. Alright, so I'm just grabbing out a little shallow crankbait. I picked up Infeet S in a 7'2" ultralight, so very similar taper to the one Kris was using before, but just in the S range, so a little bit cheaper price point. Just tie on a little shallow crank and see if we can't catch a few on straight through setup.
Righty, we're just going to head back out of this flat. Caught a couple of fish, done our job for the morning, and now it's time to get these boys some coffee. That was the rule. Had to catch a couple before we were allowed to go to the cafe, so it's a windy, cool, pretty gross kind of day, so I think we deserve it now. having a snack anyway. I wanted a snack, he wanted a snack, we all wanted a snack. Just going to rig up one of the little flick minnows. Go on a gold one. It's sort of murky-ish water, overcast day, and there's a lot of little shiny bait fish around. I'm actually going for a number 2 light wire 30th in this one. Normally I'd fish them super light, but there's a fair bit of breeze around, so I need that little bit of weight in the head just to keep it to track in the water and not just get blown away. The trick I find with a lot of these jerk bait, flick bait style plastics, being dead straight is a massive key. The other side of it, don't put too much hook into the plastic. So if you go too long and they get bent up, they tend to spin. So you want as little in there as possible. Just enough to pop it out like that, nice and straight. That should swim dead on.
All right, so we just had a bit of a pit stop. Hit up the general store at Lake Tyres for a nice BLT and a coffee. Now I'm going to head up the river and chase a few bream and the snags. So it's pretty windy. Head up there and get out of this wind and see if we can't catch a few.
The wind is pumping it. So I'm just fishing out wide here along the drop off because Tom's like fishing the bank and pretty much cut me off from everything else. So I'm just looking for whatever's left, pretty much out wide here.
We're in 430 foot.
Yeah, it's deep too. That's why I'm not getting the bottom. I got one. Look at that. Oh, that looks like a spot that could put a hook in my finger when I cradle it. I'm gonna grab that line. I wasn't gonna, but I'm gonna. Yeah, you're right. So that was just fishing. We're fishing a pretty shallow sort of weedy flat here. Tom's fishing up in the real shallow stuff, and I've got the Kadachi, which dives a bit deeper. Just running that little drop off where the weed tapers out into deeper water. There's been some right up shallow feeding, but there's also quite a few that are sitting off the edge just cruising around, and that one ate it pretty close to the boat. It was cool. So because it's pretty weedy here, it's hard to sort of slow roll anything at a steady pace. So what I'm trying to do, just to break it up and get it back up in the water columns, a little bit of a drag and a roll and then a few shakes. It sort of unsettles the lure and gets it to come up a bit higher. And then you can start your little roll again and just repeating that. It also gives it that time to pause for the fish to come and grab it. The blacks like it a little bit slower than the yellowfin bream. I do like to super slow roll them. Oh, there's a garfish ate it, he liked it. I do like to slow roll them if I can and use a little pause, but when it's nice and shallow like this, a bit of a twitch and really get that shine of the lure flashing through and get those fish's attention. Seems to be working pretty good.
Expert fisherman.
Mm.
Cameraman picked up my rod and tangled it.
And get to run shallow, which is good. Yeah, this is the bit.
See what?
Yeah. Little weed pocket.
Alright, up the river. Let's go.
To the snags.
Out of this wind.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm down with that. We've just come up the river a bit into the snags. So I thought I'd run it weedless to get right in there, or snagless. Not snag proof, snagless. Good thing about the keeper on the bait junkie jig heads, it does actually hold it pretty well there for a weedless setup too.
First cast.
Is that him?
Simple as that. He's a dark one.
He's a very dark one. Look at that.
And I got
Bye, drinky jighead. Wave minnow. Oh, look at the food up his guts too. Cool. We'll get a bigger one.
Alright, so I've just got the 702 LFS in the S series, so pretty generic kind of all-rounder rod, but it's got a little bit more backbone down low, so you need that little bit of stiffness when you're weedless rigging. You obviously want to be able to push the hook through the plastic and then get the fish out from the snag, so nothing too long, nothing too short. Oh,
Flathead. Oh no, it's a bream. Oh no, it is a flathead.
Off the bottom.
Get off.
Shake him off.
Note to self, don't let it sink so long.
Now while he's doing that, I'll catch one off this snag.
That's a very dark flathead too. This one? Yeah, this one good. That one? Come on, dangle there, right there. Get him. Oh God! Oh, it nearly worked.
He got it too.
Ah, it's just a bit quick on the uptake then, eh?
Oh, I see one too.
That was exactly how it was meant to happen. You see him swim up to it? That was cool. Would have been cooler if I hooked it.
Oh,
Chase it. There he is.
saw him. Two of them came rushing out for that. Little one.
Oh, see, I saw that. He's a bitty one.
Under the weed. Punching mats for bream.
Yeah.
He's a proper dark one too.
Because he's been under the mat. No sun.
Just, ooh, there's one there. So literally just all this floating scum on the surface seems to be holding a few fish just sitting underneath it.
Right, we've got a few big logs in a row here on the bank. It's the first sort of deep bit of water we've got. Throwing a 16th ounce head, just weedless or snagless in amongst them. I like to sort of work my way in, so I'll work from outside in, fish the tip of the snag first. That way you're not going to spook anything that's at the back. So fish the tip and then work your way into the shallow water. And if I can't get a bite, then I'll probably run it right down the length of the trunk of the snag. If there's any sitting right up tight under there, then that don't want to come out, you've got a bit more chance if you can keep it in that zone a bit longer. Ideally, you'd like to hook them perpendicular to it so you can drag them straight out, but we'll try that first and then we'll stick it right down along the deep bit of the snag and the deep, dark, nasty stuff and see what happens. He's a better one. He's a bit better one.
All right, so just as Chris said, put a cast down the length of that tree, just sunk that little 295 flick down there, and as I wound it back up, this one raced out and grabbed it. So not a huge fish, but nice little specimen.
There he is.
Yep.
You got it?
Oh, he had it.
He did have it. Oh, he had it for half a second, then I lost him.
I got him. I got a one.
Mate. Oh, what about that one? I'll get him.
Oh, that's a big one.
Thought he took off to that. Hey, come on.
Oh, he's right there. He's right there. He's looking at it.
Oh, that was a real good one.
That was a proper one.
Yeah. There's still one on that snag too.
Look
at them, they're still there.
Ate that flick bait all the way down. Chris is looking at about 5 of them on that snag. I just caught his mate. A little 295 flick, producing the goods.
I've got baby bass out. We'll try it. See what happens.
Little flick bait, just real slow sink down. Give it a few twitches. They're coming out and eating it. You're watching them eat it, which is really cool. The local legend has just cast over the snag. He's just twitching it back here. He's going to get a bite any second. Let's watch.
Why not? I reckon my line was floating 15 foot.
look, no bite so far, but any second now. Negative.
A couple of ones followed it.
Bugger. Yeah, let's go up, further up the river. More snakes.
Oh, just a couple up under the cave. Oh, there's a good one there too. Ah, the little one ate it. You jerk. Look at his mate. There's a cracker. There'll be more up under this one for sure then. Good size. Not bad. Not bad.
Looks good. Alright, so you can see the snag behind it. Real big prominent one. It's the first one we've come to for a while, so should be plenty of fish on this up there.
I'm on.
Alright, so a little rundown of the Infeet rods that we've been fishing today. I've got the Infeet S with me, and Kris has been using the Z series all day. So the S is the entry level to the range. Pretty similar to the 20 model Fuji Fazlight guides, but the big upgrade for this is we're now using Nano Plus technology. So Nano Plus is that resin control, minimises the amount of resin in the blank, makes a really light rod. So physically a little bit lighter than the old models, about 8 grams lighter on average across the range. So they're already crazy light, now they're ridiculously light. So a bit of a change up to the reel seat as well. But the Infeet S has been a real winner, so I've been really enjoying using that little setup.
Yeah, and the difference between the two colours, I get asked quite a lot. The red is the faster taper models, blue is the regular taper. So down on the front of the system on the flats where I was throwing things with trebles, I personally prefer the regular taper. That's what these rods are built for. Cranking straight through fluorocarbon, a nice soft rod to fish the trebles with. Whereas the faster action generally is for single hooks, jig head rig plastics and things like that, where you need that little bit of hook set and a little bit of low down power to get the fish out. So just it's good to have the two different specs with different colours, so you can go to the shelf in the store and you know straight away which one's the action that you're looking for.
Yeah, you know immediately if you want a crank rod, you look for the blue and white one and you know that's the one, that's the Infeet to pick up. And the Z series that Kris has been fishing all day, you'd be familiar with it, the same kind of reel seat as last year's setup, but upgraded to SVF Nano Plus now. So next level up of graphite technology, again, makes it a little bit more sensitive, a little bit more lightweight. And I think you've really enjoyed using them today.
Yeah, it was a great rod. I've got the older model of this same rod, and it's my go-to cranking rod pretty much wherever I go around the country. So it's a winner for me. And the whole range, we've spent quite a lot of time on the first iteration of the Infeet, or the newer Infeets, and this is just another step up again, which is awesome.
Yeah, so if you're in the market for a new light tackle rod and you want to know more about the new Infeets, the EX range is also getting updated. You'll see maybe a sneak peek of that a little bit later. But if you want any more info on the Infeet range, head to the Daiwa website. All the breakdowns of all the models and all the specs are on there. So new Infeet rods, prototype testing down here at Lake Tyres. Been an awesome day. We'll go out down the front, try and catch a few more and then call it a day, I think. Alright, so we're out on the flats. You can tell it's absolutely howling wind, but there's a heap of fish on this flat. So got a couple already. We'll see if we can finish the day with a few nice hard body fish. Oh, it's on again. Here's one. He hasn't really done anything yet. Yeah. Sazanami. Fish on the flats. So that one came on the little Sazanami, one of the new lures or newer lures for Daiwa. Little shallow jerkbait. Got the gravity system inside it. Awesome for fishing these flats. Yep.
First cast.
First cast. That's just that 130th.
Yeah.
Real light.
Decent one too.
Another nice one on the wave minnow. Good way to finish the day. That's the day done. Couple of nice brim. New Infeet range. Been a good day out.
Yeah, tested plenty of rods and plenty of lures and caught them on pretty much everything, didn't we?
Yeah.
Good fun.
Caught them up the river on the flats in the morning. It was awesome.